what is happening, y'all? Jay here, back again, and I am so excited to make this video as this update for Wuchang Fallen Feathers changes everything. The game update that we, the fans, have been screaming for is finally here, and honestly, they have outdone themselves. They have made so many changes. Frankly, I wasn't expecting this patch to come out this soon and for it being this good. Players who didn't want to play this game or who didn't want to play the new Game Plus mode, this patch 1.5, yeah, that'll make you do so. So let's start with the most important change, and that's got to do with, well, you know how in this game when you get knocked back, the recovery animation, by that I mean the time you get back to your feet, is so atrociously slow that you can get stun locked by your enemy. This was so horrible that even the game devs acknowledged this problem and they have finally fixed it. So the way they have done this is by adding invincibility frames to your recovery animation. This will stop you from getting stun locked or just straight up dying because you're wasting so much time just to get back to your feet. This was the most requested change and the reason this game lost 1 point in my review out of 10. I have lost count to how many times I died to those 3 elite enemies because I used to get knocked back and by the time I used to get up, yeah, I was dead. And secondly, they have sped up the healing animation because some of the bosses in this game are so fast that as soon as you sip a drink of heal, you get instantly attacked at almost teleport level of speeds, like the inner demon boss. And honestly, these were the only 2 issues I had with the game, and they have fixed them both. But they did not stop there. Now this is something I am a bit on the fence for, and I want to know what you think in the comments. So, the next big change is that while you are healing yourself, you can cancel the animation in favor of dodge. So basically what that means is, if you are healing and you see someone charging at you, you can cancel your heal and dodge the enemy. Now they say it'll enhance the strategic element of the game, but I feel it's gonna reduce it. My point is that in all Souls-like, you're always looking for a window to heal yourself. You're waiting for the enemy to complete its combo. That's a strategy call that I love, be it in Elden Ring or Lies of P, especially in Lies of P. Imagine Lies of P letting you cancel heal and letting you block your enemy. Not cool, right? I think this move is catering a bit too much for the casual gamers, which I don't think was needed. If players love your game, they're gonna push through these bosses and elite enemies. But I mean, that's my thought. You let me know in the comments, am I right or am I wrong? The next change is something I was clamoring for since the game launched. The landmines and traps. Oh my god. There are too many landmines and they do too much damage. Not to mention, they knock you back to the floor to then get killed by some pesky enemy cause you take an eternity to get back to your feet. So as per the patch notes, they have reduced the damage they do. Also, they have reduced the number of landmines as well. Also, they have increased the trigger interval of spike traps. Next major change that they have done is to weapons. While we all know the two-handed weapons, be it the sword or the Anga Bunga weapon, the axe, are extremely overpowered. Now, don't worry, thankfully they have not nerfed them, but they have shown some more love to the light weapons. So with this patch, the light weapons will interrupt the attacks of enemies and bosses more than before, which was more of a privilege for the heavy two-handed weapons, and I think this is a great change and makes me wanna do my new Game Plus mode with a light weapon and a spell build. Also, they have nerfed enemies in the later half of the game, so you can stagger these enemies more with your weapon or spell, or even throwables. Now, this is something that I will have to test because it's not something that I remember from my first gameplay as being a problem. Next up, they have made some good changes for the keyboard and mouse players, wherein they have fixed a bug where you could not assign some specific task to your key binding menu. So yeah, that's a thumbs up. But on a side note, can I just say this? Do not play your Souls-like on a keyboard and mouse. Souls-like games are meant for a controller. You are unnecessarily making this game harder than it needs to be. Now, the next change is a pretty big one, and that's related to the NPCs. This game needs at least two playthroughs because you will end up missing some side quest or another. I mean, in Souls like, quests are hard to get it right unless you're following some guide, but this game takes it one step higher. So, to make changes to that is a welcome change, where they have added more dialogue to certain NPCs, making it more clearer what they want us to do next. And also, they have further optimized the exhaustion animation, basically making it more clearer to you that the dialogue between you and the NPC is exhausted, rather than you not completing the dialogue and ending up messing up the quest entirely. Now, while these were the major changes, I want to quickly go through all the smaller changes in a quick fire style. Let's go. Firstly, we have more weapons and armor coming up in future updates, and this is a criticism that the game received as it had too many armors that, well, looked sexy but nothing of culture and history. So they have listened to that and we're getting more armor sets. Second, they have fixed the elevator. Thank Lord for that. They were way too slow and I could get a coffee while I went from one level to another in this game. Third, they made the descriptions of weapons and items more clearer for the English speaking audiences, as sometimes certain items did something very different to what was described, so things will not be lost in translation. Fourth, they fixed the Buddha statue bug, which just disappeared. That's right. If you remember, this is just before the Hong Lang boss fight. Fifth, we have all the game fixes and crashes, which was such a major issue, especially for the PC players. So I hope those gamers can finally return, as this is one game I cannot recommend enough, and the negative reviews are, I just don't understand. It's such an amazing Souls-like. Now remember, I told at the start of the video they are doing something in the next update that's gonna be a huge quality of life change. Upon dying to a boss, do you want to go back to the checkpoint, your last checkpoint, or do you want to get respawned just outside the boss door? And that's absolutely brilliant. I mean, that shows us that how much the devs are listening to us. So that about does it for this video. We have so many guides coming up for this game. Plus, we're also doing a complete 100% walkthrough guide where you don't miss any item, any weapon, any quest. Basically a no FOMO guide. So look out for that one. Anyways, thank you for watching and see you in the next one.